So there's this guy. We'll call him Pride. Sure, he might look pretty all right on the outside, but behind the smile, he's not long or often satisfied. As only his wants, needs, and opinions are bona fide, and always competing and comparing, something to criticize he always finds, and so easy to bother. From inside, pride whines and cries, I deserve more and better. But pride, you can never advise, for he is always right in his own eyes. Yeah, pride knows best, no matter what. Hey, I got this. I don't need that, and besides, it won't work. Yeah, don't be surprised when pride lashes out against all things wise, or when called out, so easily offended, pride can't stand being corrected, as he's always on the defensive. For all pride sees are flaws, but none of his own. Yeah, this or that or they are what's wrong. It or they need to change. Yeah, if only this or that were different, and if only they were a little more this or that. Pride cannot love any but himself, thinking little to nothing of anyone else, and on his own way he insists, as any love sent his way is just not enough. And pride lies, as there are no temptations that he resists, and himself he justifies, while never willing to apologize. But to pride, I am mostly blind. For he hides. Yeah, to survive, he'll sometimes twist and writhe until he looks something like self-pity. Whatever it takes to not to submit to any authority, yeah. Whether trying hard to be recognized or to himself confined, still pride. This pitiful kind is just kind of disguised as the good guy. Pride's adversary, humility, just beginning to be exhibited the moment I simply admit it. Oh, how often I'm that guy. Yeah, my problem is pride. And right when I don't think so, pride really is my problem. All the more so, because pride is in denial, as deception is very much his style. So, pride, die. For I see, to be strong, I must first realize I'm weak. And to be wise, I must first admit my folly. And so, humility can come to life here. I'll put pride to death already. But what's humility like? Well, despite his smile, he might actually look a little ugly. But give humility just a little while and he'll prove himself every time, for he satisfies, always, always giving thanks. He just doesn't lose his cool. Humility is confident and kind. He says, hi, how are you? And with care, maybe even a prayer, he gives an answer. Humility makes the most of every moment. So easy to please and teach. Any grief leads him to repent. He doesn't know it all, and he knows it. Yeah, humility can take a hint or a hit, knowing those hurting others are hurting themselves. So, taking on the form of a servant, humility is loved and loves. And next to him, he considers others to be more important. And so, if I go on describing humility much more, I'll be straight up describing Jesus Christ, the Lord. For what greater demonstration of humility is there? For God himself took on flesh, and for all of us he took on death. And pride is just one of the sins for which he died, but it is from pride that every sin is derived. For if there was just one sin that kept anyone from God and his blessings, including eternity with him, and if there was just one sin preventing God's children from becoming godly, holy moly, it's pride. For without mind, pride speaks, and he says, I'm fine. Meanwhile, humility sees his need, and the truth he seeks. And by God, humility is found, because my God gives grace to the humble, and he opposes the proud. So maybe now's about the time to get on these knees, to thank God for not being like others. No, but like this. Please, God, be merciful to me, the chief